Hi everyone, welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Happy Wednesday to you guys. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone is doing well. The weather is starting to change and get a little cooler, so that means winter will soon be here. So keep taking care of yourself, keep showing up, keep self-care. It's so important, guys. And thank you for your comments. Thank you for showing up here daily and subscribing to the channel and for getting other people to subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you so much for that. I really show a lot of gratitude and thanks for that, because that lets me know that these messages are resonating with you all, or many of you. So guys, self-care is so important. And I'm learning to do more of that because it takes care of the mental health, as well as if your mental health is okay, then your physical health will follow. And music helps a lot, guys. Just having music, a playlist of your favorite music, will take your mood from a low vibe to a high one within a few minutes of listening to it. So do things. If you play the piano, do that. You know, I'm doing a little bit of that. I'm not really a piano player, but it's soothing. There's something therapeutic about that. So do things that are uplifting, that uplift your spirit, guys, especially in this world that we live in today that's spinning mostly on misery. So with that being said, keep in mind I'm not a therapist, I'm not a social worker or a counselor, just somebody who went through a lot of hell and trials and trauma, and I talk about how I became an overcomer. And I hope what I say here today, as well as in other videos, will be beneficial to anyone who are going through these similar circumstances. Perhaps how I talk about how I overcame these problems may help you with your own circumstances. So with that being said, the title today, the topic of discussion is learning to trust God and to turn pain into power. And this is how I did it, by learning to trust God and turn my pain into power. And I'm going to talk about it here today, and perhaps someone will hear something and it will help you with your own circumstances. Remember, we're here to uplift, not tear down. Pain, grief, trauma, and loss. Pain, grief, trauma, and loss. Pain can change your life forever, and I'm talking from personal experience. Pain and loss can change your life forever, guys. You'll never be the same. You know, you can get through these things, but you're never the same because of it. However, each of us, we all have a choice, either to succumb to the pain or become an overcomer to it. We can succumb to the pain or we can overcome it. So we all have a choice in this matter. For me, through therapy, self-care, and setting boundaries, I learned how to look at my pain and situation from a different perspective. And because of that, that was the only way that I could see myself changing the situation that was meant to break me, and to see the positive by learning the lesson in it. So once I learned the lesson, I know that I can close that door forever and not repeat the same cycle. Because what happens is that these are vicious cycles, in my case, of unlearned lessons. And when we don't learn it, the lesson come back again. Different shape, different form, different characters, but the same vicious cycle until we learn. And once we learn the lesson, then we can close the door and move on to new beginnings. And that's how I looked at things from a different perspective. Therapy helped me to do that. I learned to see the lesson in my circumstances instead of succumbing to the pain. And that's how I was able to, with the help of God, prayer, meditation, asking God to help me, taking steps on my behalf as I ask Him to help me, and looking at my circumstances from a different perspective. Because if I had look at it any other way, um, it would be from a broken mindset. And the way I grew up, what I was taught, everybody did the best they can with what we had. Nothing comes with instructions, when it comes to life and healing and journey. We just have to take what we have and then put it into, creatively do what we can to look at things from a different perspective to help us grow from it and not succumb to it, is what I'm saying. So shortly thereafter, I have notes here so that I can cover everything. Shortly thereafter, dealing with all this, I decided to turn this pain into power into purpose into paying it forward to help me, to help myself as I heal while helping others to do the same. I'm going to put this back up here so I can talk to you guys and look at you. It's not easy. Like I said, the root cause, I had to look at the root cause of the pain, why these lessons were repeated repetitively over and over and over again, until I one day sat and just looked at things from a different perspective. And then I said, I'm going to learn this lesson because I can't repeat this vicious cycle again, because if it comes back again, each time that will spin and you have to repeat a lesson, guys, it's worse than ever. And I was sitting on a wheel, being subservient to other people and their needs, carrying their burdens, which I use as a metaphor of bricks, carrying their bricks and neglecting myself and my own needs. And I had to learn to turn that around. I'm important too, just like everybody else. You are important too, just like everyone else. But when your self-esteem is less than 0, then it's hard to see things from a different perspective. So I had some work to do, guys. I had to work on myself. My therapist had a hard time getting me to talk because I just didn't want to address the elephant in the room. I didn't want to look at it, even though it was growing bigger and bigger by the minute. And I just, wanted to be in a place of, I don't want to look at it, I don't want to deal with it, just leave it where it is. And until things got really serious with the pain, and the pain turned into grief, depression, and then I had to climb myself out of it. And God can't help us if we don't help ourselves. God cannot help us if we don't help ourselves. So I had to take steps in the right direction. And it wasn't easy, guys. It was hard. I looked at the pain, the root cause of it, and then I took steps to change things for the better. And what I did after learning and just applying the things my therapist told me to, setting boundaries, and the boundaries were set so that I can stay focused on self-care, self-help, and on healing. And I know that I couldn't concentrate on healing if I'm dealing with what this one over here has going on and what this one here is talking about. And if I'm over here, over there, up here, down there, then I'm not focusing on my healing journey. I'm more focused on being subservient to other people. It took me a long time to change that because people were hitting me up for everything. And because of my generosity and how kind I am to others, they took that for stupidity. And that's not the case at all. I'm still kind, generous, will reach out, help people. But when I see a pattern of toxic and negative behavior, like wanting to use me because they think, I'm slow or dumb or something, then I cut off, block, and delete. And I choose myself. And it took me a long time to get to the point to choose me. Because all my life, when I grew up in religion, I was taught to be, what's that word that they use? It's been a while since I've been connected. To be selfless, I think. That's what it means anyway. To be selfless and do everything for everybody else. Basically forgetting about yourself. And if we did that on a daily basis, and I'm going to talk from my personal experience with that, then you have nothing left to give to yourself. Your priority should be your mental and physical health, because without that, you can't do anything for yourself or anybody else around you. If that is failing, then your health will fail and you can't do anything. So it's important to make your mental and physical health a priority. It's a must. And if people around you don't understand that, then you have to set boundaries so that you can stay focused over here and not how somebody else feels. And I had to learn that. One of the things that helped me is the pro and con list. My therapist had me to do a pro and con list of everybody who was in my life, what they were bringing to the table, and what I was bringing. And when that pro list outweighed the con list, I had to make some changes. And when I started to set boundaries with other folks, they did not like it, because they were used to that old Lisa who was subservient. And if you call me in the middle of the night with some kind of problem, I'm going to get up, skip, hop, run, and do all that. I am not that person anymore. I'm still going to help and talk and encourage people, but I am not going to be that overgiver as I used to be, that servient person, And as a woman, being taught that we're supposed to cater to certain individuals, we're supposed to be seen and not heard. To me, that's a 1925 situation. It doesn't exist in 2025, at least not for me. As I made these changes to heal and to self-care, self-love started. And as I self-love, the self-esteem built up, because like I said before, my self-esteem was less than zero. It took from 2020 up until just maybe a year ago that I was able to build up my self-esteem, asking God to help me through prayer, meditation, and more important, and besides that, persevering. No matter what it looked like in a natural, keep going, keep taking steps. It's like a baby learning to walk. They're going to fall down, roll over, but they're going to get up and keep going, because that baby, young as they are, know that they are supposed to walk. It's the same with your health, your mental and physical health. You know that you are supposed to prioritize that, put yourself first, because if you don't, then you're going to be failing in that category, and then you can't do anything else for yourself or anybody else. So it's not being selfish or self-absorbed. It is prioritizing, which is a must. And if people don't understand that, you have to set boundaries. Put yourself first. You can explain to them why you are setting these boundaries, but if they still don't understand, for me, I had to look at it from a different perspective. If someone doesn't want to see me heal, grow, and evolve, and take care of myself, there's something wrong with that. And so I had to set some strong boundaries, which led to many folks being cut off, blocked, and deleted, so that I can stay on this journey to heal. Because it's not easy, but it's well worth it. Because as you continue to do this and do all these things, you start to acquire inner peace. I'm finally starting to understand what my mother meant when she talked about, I just want peace at this point of my life. And for the first time in my life, I understand that, because you can't have peace if someone is bringing drama to your front door. You can't have peace if someone is constantly lying and dragging your name in the mud. And every time you see that person, they got some drama or some toxicity going on, and your name is being dragged in it. And your name is being dragged in places that you have never even been, because of who you are attached to. When you're attached to toxic people, they will drag you into anything because they love drama and negativity. How can you heal, grow, and evolve if you are continuously allowing yourself to be around people who are toxic and who have no they have no desire to grow, heal, and evolve? They love toxicity too much. How can a healed person, a person who starts to heal, grow, and evolve, they cannot be overly connected to people who don't want to do that, and people who want to stay in a broken mindset and a broken way of living? because it's like crabs in a barrel. One crab gets up to the top, and the other crabs who are still at the bottom grab him right back down with them at the bottom. If we can't get up to the top, neither are you. And so this is why I personally had to cut off, block, and delete, because I refuse to allow anyone to stop my growth, healing, and evolving. You know, we can change the course, people, of our pain by doing the work to heal it. You know, we don't have to stay in a place of brokenness. Yes, that's how it can start out, but you can heal the pain. You know, and the grief part of it, of losing loved ones, we'll never get over it, but we can get through it. And we can be an overcomer instead of succumbing to the trials and tribulation and the pain and the grief. We can change the course of our life for the better. We never have to stay stuck in the pain. We can always move past it, but we have to do some work in order to do so, taking steps, baby steps. And as you start to take those steps, it becomes second nature, and you start to make more progress. It doesn't happen overnight, but I promise you, you will see the progress and the results like I have. When you learn to turn that pain into power, you can turn that power into paying it forward to help yourself heal while you're doing the same for others. And also be a testimony to others, because there's a lot of broken people who think they can't heal, but they can. But when they see that you can do it, and you're doing it, and your life has changed for the better instead of for the worse, then it gives them a motivation to know that they can do the same. Keep helping other people, because as you help them, you help yourself. And the people who don't want to see you have anything, like crabs in a barrel, set strong boundaries. Stay focused on yourself, your healing, your growth, because that should mean everything. And as you do this, people, you're going to start to feel better. You feel better, you start to self-care, self-love, which equals what, guys? It equals inner peace. And it is always better to be at a place of inner peace than to be broken down into pieces. That's the message today, guys. Please show up daily here. Subscribe to the channel. Please get others to subscribe, because a lot of people need to hear these messages. Some people talk about what they're going through freely, and others keep it to themselves. But this is a safe space where everybody can show up, be motivated by how I talk about how I overcame instead of succumbing to the brokenness. And I talk about ways you can do it too. So please keep showing up here. And thank you for being here. I appreciate every one of you. And leave me some comments on how these messages are helping you as well as others. Thank you, guys. Go and enjoy your Wednesday. Go do something nice for yourself and take care of yourself. And I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Bye for now, guys.